It's interesting points about the new petition to determine succession to primary residence procedure. We get into that next. Welcome back to the channel featuring the leading probate real estate team in all of California. I'm Brendan Mohr, Realtor, life member of the Masters Club, and certified probate and trust specialist by the California Association of Realtors.
And I'm Bill Heyman. I'm a licensed California professional fiduciary. I'm also a licensed California real estate broker, and I'm a registered and bonded California legal document assistant specializing in probate and trust work.
Now go ahead and like and subscribe, and if you've got a house to sell, we can help you avoid the cost and headache of probate and trust administration. Those services come with the listing at a phenomenal discount with no upfront fees, saving families thousands in costs. We can even help with the petition to determine succession to primary residence process. Our contact info is in the About section. Don't wait, reach out today. So this new petition, it's a way to hopefully shorten the probate process. The petition to determine succession to primary residence procedure. Now, we're going to go through some interesting points about it. First off, it must be the primary residence of the decedent.
Correct. Secondly, the value at the date of death cannot be more than $750,000, and that applies if the decedent passed after April 1st of 2025. If he passed before that, there's some differences.
Yeah, and we have some notes on here, so I'm just going over my bullet points because this is a fairly new procedure here. Now, the value at date of death cannot exceed $184,500 if the decedent passed between April 1st, 2022 and March 31st, 2025.
And to add a little more confusion to this whole process, the value at the date of death cannot exceed $166,250 if the decedent passed prior to April 1st of 2022. So you gotta take into account these when the decedent passed as to what applies.
Yeah, hopefully this makes it a little bit more clear for people for this new procedure here. But if the decedent passed prior to April 1st, 2025, this procedure may be used on real property other than the decedent's personal residence.
Correct.
That's a big one.
It is a big one because, again, this new procedure can only be used if they passed after April 1st, 2025. And if they passed after April 1st of 2025, it can only be used on their primary residence. But if they passed before April 1st of 2025, this procedure can be used on their personal residence, but also on any other real property that fits within the value category. So I know it's confusing out there, but that's why if you contact us, we'll certainly help you work through it. But also, if you use this procedure, you really have to understand that the heirs, they become personally liable for all of the deceased person's debts. Now that's a biggie because, if dad passes away and he left some big credit card bills, personal loans, he owes Medi-Cal, he has medical bills, all the heirs, if you use this procedure, all the heirs are going to become personally responsible for that. Whereas in a regular probate, debts get cut off. I'm not saying that the estate is not responsible for those debts, but the heirs are not personally responsible for them. And there's a cutoff date within the probate procedure. And that's just why you may want to consider possibly using the regular probate instead of this procedure.
Really a number of reasons, but that's a big one.
Yeah. It is.
Now, if any of the heirs will not sign off on the petition to determine succession to primary residence, you may not be able to use it.
Yeah.
Again, not so with a regular probate. There's a workaround for that in a regular probate.
Yeah. And another thing is kind of to just add to what you just said. Fairly often, you will have a situation where one of the heirs can't be found. Nobody knows where he or she is. Now, if you can't find an heir, you can't get everybody to sign off on that new petition procedure because it does require all the heirs to sign. You're kind of stuck. But in a regular probate process, there's a workaround for that when you can't find an heir, and you can still move forward. So there's a lot of things to consider when you're trying to decide which procedure to use. Yeah.
And you know, one other thing about this particular one, when there's a home involved, is all the heirs will end up being on title at the closing of this. So that's okay if there's 1 or 2 heirs, maybe 3, but now you're basically partners on a house.
Yep.
And what this is likely going to do is increase legal costs for what's called partition action, where say there's 10 of you and 9 of you want to sell, but the 10th doesn't. Well, you need that 10th one. So now if that one doesn't agree, now you're going to court, and they're all but guaranteed to lose on that and be forced to sell, but now you're incurring legal costs.
Yeah.
And then there's a nightmare of every single real estate document all 10 of you have to sign.
And that is a nightmare.
That is a nightmare. There's maybe some further workarounds. I would maybe form a trust and put one person in charge, if that's a possibility, right?
Possibility, yeah.
Yeah, but now you're incurring extra costs there, and you really have to have a lot of agreements, so it's something to watch out.
Yep.
Any other points you'd like to throw on there?
I think we've kind of covered the important ones. I have a feeling there will be others that will crop up as this procedure gets used more and more, because it is very new. But I think those are the main point at this time.
If you need help determining what is right for you, reach out to us. I'll get you in touch with Bill. And if you're looking on selling the house, either going through the probate process or the petition to determine succession to primary residence, that's included in our overall fee for selling the house.
Absolutely.
So please like and subscribe, reach out to us.